On the menu today we have very creamy mac and cheese. We will be pairing this with chicken and some broccoli. First things first, we're going to want to go ahead and get this chicken in the oven at 375. We'll start with doing the first side for 25 minutes and then we'll flip midway through for another 20. One thing I do advise is to go ahead and cover your chicken with foil, as this will help preserve the juices. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and give our broccoli a quick rinse and cut it down to size. A tip for steaming your broccoli is when you do put it in the pan, go ahead and add about a half inch of water to the bottom of the pan, and this will just give the broccoli something to work with as it starts to absorb water and soften. When it's ready, strain it and you're done. Moving on to the chicken, this is already cooked for 25 minutes. All we're going to do here is simply flip it, put the foil back on, and put it into the oven for another 20. Moving to the feature dish of the day, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and bring our noodles to a boil to soften them up. Next is probably the most fun part of the whole recipe, and that is shredding our cheese. One thing I will say, if you do look at the video here, you notice every few slices I'm rotating the cheese, and what this does is it prevents the cheese from gaining what I like to call a tail, because if you shred it too long on one side, it has this tail that drags, and it really just puts your thumb in a bad spot on the grater. So make sure to flip it every 2 to 3 grates. We have our big cheese reveal coming up, and I will let you enjoy this in peace. Back to the noodles, it is important to give it a good stir every minute or so, and once they're done, we'll just strain these noodles per usual. Now notice we will put some olive oil on top, and all this does is prevent sticky or clumping either with the noodles themselves or the noodles to the pan. With the noodles complete, we will be moving on to make our roux. And roux is just a fancy word of quite literally saying butter, flour, and milk. This will be the paste though that holds the macaroni together and allows the cheese something to grip to while still giving it its creamy texture. The first thing you do here is simply get your butter melted, pour in a little bit of flour, and add milk as desired till it gets to your desired creaminess. One very good tip for the cheese, when you do add your shredded cheese, don't pour the whole thing in at once, add it in sections, stir, add a little bit more, stir a little bit more. This is also a good time to add things like salt, pepper, or garlic, however you prefer to season your macaroni. It's just personal preference at this point. Once all the cheese has been added, the only thing left is to add the noodles in. A quick tip for adding the noodles, once you do pour them in, just remember to keep stirring. I'll let you enjoy this part in peace. Now we did set the broccoli aside on low heat earlier, but now since it's almost plating time, we're going to go ahead and get it ready. We're just simply going to add a little bit of butter, and again the same as we did with the macaroni, seasonings to your desire. When it comes to cooking chicken, especially since we're wrapping this in foil and heat can be a little tricky, it is critical to make sure that you temp the thickest part of the chicken, and we are looking for a read of 165 or higher. If it is not 165, just throw it back in for a few more minutes. One important note when your chicken is done is to let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes, and this will just allow the chicken to absorb those juices back in so you retain the juiciness that we're going for. Lastly, but not least, it is time to plate our meal. We're throwing that juicy chicken on there. We're going to get us 2 healthy scoops of macaroni, and we'll finish with 1 scoop of cheesy broccoli. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe.